there's a bunch of different versions of Monopoly, as we all know. But there is a cheaters edition. I'm very curious to see what that is.
Like the
show?
Like where they caught
No,
cheaters?
show cheaters? Yo, my God.
I think you cheat in the game. Like,
no, man.
No, I prefer to be the show
I
cheaters.
would so much rather play a cheaters TV show.
That show was ridiculous.
It was like,
yo, they'd be coming up to you like, hey, do you know who we are? And we're like, they're like, no, who the fuck are you? It's like, I'm with cheaters and you're such and such.
you remember they got to the time the guy got stabbed?
Yes! People fucking got beat up on that show, man.
That was
I didn't think that was real, but maybe it was. I don't know.
Yo, people really don't want to be called out. It's like, yo, what are you doing here? My girl's gonna see this.
I'm with my side chick right now. What are you doing? How dare you? Put me on TV.
Which I was like, I'd like to know the dude's thought process that stabbed him. Like, no, the dude that stabbed him. Because he was like, you're on camera.
Crimes of passion.
In the spur of the moment.
It's just
because he stabbed somebody because he was being cheated on.
He stabbed the host,
and that is why we never
see. He stabbed the
That is
host.
why
I
we
didn't know
never
all
see
that.
cheaters again.
Like
dude.
the host, like confronted him. He was like, "Hey, he was. I feel like he was on a boat.
We're making this up. There.
He was like on a boat. No, I swear he was on a boat. And like my man was like, "Hey, I'm whatever my name is with cheaters, and got you in the act." And one man was like. It was just like one stab, but he got him. And my man was just like, and I feel like he was on a boat.
I need to see this episode because this sounds like fucking wild as shit. I've never heard of this.
Why is this so funny?
Yo, I will find it.
He's like, hey,
and I will show it to you.
Know.
But yeah, how the fuck did we get on to that?
We were talking about Monopoly and Cheaters Edition.
No, but how did what?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's do it.
Hello, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Tight Guys, the show where we take little bits of pop culture that molded us and we talk about it.
Yeah,
we
just talk about it,
we shoot the shit about it, and then we give our assessment on its overall contribution to the fucking
world, us,
the
things that made us,
the collective. Yeah, it's like the things that made us the black version.
Yes.
But there might be some white things that made us.
Yeah,
true.
Which is fitting.
Any culture, really. I mean, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, no, it was just black people talking about it. Yeah. But like we'd like you to see, we'd like you to see past that, because we don't see color.
Oh man.
All right. So yeah, no, it's Tight Guys. I am Trent Robinson.
Hey, I ain't gonna say my last name, but I'm Don Cosby.
Wow, he
does
it.
Do it anyway.
He's got priors out.
I'm Samaj Fox Bryan. You know, the one
the hyphen.
Yeah, he's got a hyphenated name, so that's how you know he's the sexiest one on the couch.
We've been thinking about removing it and just doing like the.
Oh, like one whole word?
Oh, really?
Fox Bryan.
That's what.
Hey,
I'm giving away too many details.
That's progressive.
Details already.
That's very progressive. So yeah, if you are trying to find him, don't look him up by the hyphen. If you're trying to stalk him, he's specified. He is with the hyphen for now. No, so this week we'll be talking about best white sitcoms.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know
they're out there.
What white sitcoms are, it's pretty much most of the sitcoms. It's
about 80%.
Yeah, it's we're getting better now, but definitely in the 90s, it was just like, oh man, look at all these white people, and it's like a little couple black people struggling.
And their hijinks.
Yeah.
Clean hijinks.
Nice, wholesome fun. But yeah, that's what we'll be talking about this week, and I feel like it's important for me to get it out of the way now, just so nobody's expecting it as they watch, I feel like there are some ones that you probably have on your minds that will definitely not be mentioned here.
Oh, I can tell you
because they are
right now, but I'm not
garbage.
going to.
Full House.
Yeah.
Full House will not be mentioned here because that is probably the worst show I've ever seen in my life.
Oh man, I just saw somebody. It's all right. Let's hug afterwards.
Yeah. Oh,
bond.
it was like, how is one family learning just fucking valuable life lessons, touching shit every week?
Yeah. I just want to know how the fuck they afforded that house.
It was like, that was
Who paying rent?
Well, I think that was the premise to how it started. Like dude's wife died, and he was like, "Yo, how am I?" She was the breadwinner.
Oh, I didn't even know that there was like a whole.
Yeah, that's
story
why
behind
like
that.
Jesse and
He was like, "Yo, I gotta bring my boys in here, get rowdy."
It was a full house. I guess you could say.
yeah, shit,
That was good.
man. You should have been a '90s pitch, man.
I should have.
That won't be talked about. That was probably the most in depth we'll go on about that here. And trigger warning for the next one. Friends
Trash.
will also.
I have a strong opinion about Friends, but I'm gonna keep it to myself.
mentioned.
I don't think.
Matter of fact, I'm not gonna keep it to
trash.
myself.
I mean, I'm gonna have to say it's trash.
I mean, that's fine.
I just don't like, man. This stole, man. They stealing shit.
Yeah. Yes, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm just
But
like
that-
automatically you don't have your own like thoughts.
But okay, but like it's a sitcom.
True.
It's
Oh,
the
yeah,
same
it's like
tropes,
sitcom,
like,
but-
over and
yeah,
over again.
they're stealing
It's like
shit
I
from
heard
everybody.
somewhere else. It's like New York ain't like that.
That's true. That's true.
You ain't getting
It
one
was a-
black person in
it's
this
a
coffee
very
shop.
whitewashed
That
You like
was
coffee too?
New York.
That was New York the way it should have been. It was the funniest part about this was like I was talking about that this was going to be what we were doing this week, talking about white sitcoms last night, and I mentioned how Friends was not going to be on there because I think it's terrible. And it was like, whoa, how can you not have Friends on here? You need to go back
Oh,
and
yeah,
watch
people
it.
get mad, man.
You just like, and I was like, I mean, there was like,
they do.
there was no voice. I didn't have a voice heard in that show, and it was like, I mean, there were several black people on that show.
Like,
Wow.
several?
They came out of the mouth with several, and I was like,
Where?
in passing, like,
Yeah, it was like,
I
oh,
don't
there's a
even think
camera.
extras
I was
were
like,
in
oh yeah,
that.
no, here's a black guy got coffee.
Yeah. I'm
He
talking
was in
about
Central Perk.
a reoccurring character.
They did didn't they?
Didn't have like one or two. Maybe.
No, right at the end, and they
The
introduced
end, yeah.
it was like a black female character. She was
Yeah.
like dating
Who was it?
Ross.
See, the fact that we
Who
don't
is
even
Ross?
It was Ross.
Chandler?
Ross
I'm just
is-
saying
Ross
names.
is
It
the
was,
tall
but it
one.
was a. I feel like we should cut this out because we should at least know the one black character that was on the show.
Oh well, I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, we can look it up.
It
But-
was
I mean, I don't watch
It-
shows, so I don't.
it was Lisa Bonet.
I want to say Gabrielle Union, but that feels wrong.
Whoa.
Oh, I would know if it was Gabby you, dude.
You know what? I mean, I said whoa, but
No,
now
you
that
know
you're
what?
playing it back, now I can't not see Gabrielle Union.
Maybe I think it was like an
It's gonna be
Ashley or
Regina
Amanda,
King for
like
some reason.
something like that.
What do you
Regina
even like?
King.
Black female actress
Yeah.
spreads.
They'll be
One
like, they're gonna
black
be like,
actress.
it's gonna be like zero.
was
I can't talk.
Zero results. Did you mean?
Did you mean living single?
Did you mean? Wait, were there any other races in?
Yeah, living single.
No.
Oh
Well, there was several other races.
no, there was no other.
No, it was like,
Uh-uh.
was it? Because I know they didn't have any black people, but did they have like
Asians?
like Asian people? Like,
Oh, in Friends?
yeah.
It was all white, dude. All
No,
white.
the
New York.
diversity was in Ross's wife's or ex-wife's.
Yo, he was just out here. Was like
lesbian
Ross was down with the
relationship.
swirl, is what we
I
call
didn't
that.
mean to air quote, by the way, if we're if you're watching this. I didn't mean to air quote that.
It was canceled
Already.
right out the gate. Friends. I should have gotten my keyboard for this, cause
Bro,
fucking
I'm just gonna look it up.
punching
on
it
my
out.
phone.
Oh yeah, shit.
swiping.
I had the
Oh,
template.
you know who it was? It was Aisha TYLER.
Yes, that's what it was. That's
Wow.
what it was.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Man.
Interesting.
That was. Is that where she got her start, or was she doing shit
I
before
don't
that?
think it's where she started because, like, I recognized her when she was on the show.
Yo, man,
So.
okay, that is also the most we'll ever talk about Friends. So,
Yeah.
we spent a lot of time talking about the shows I said that we wouldn't be focusing on.
All right, go ahead. How you should see, man?
She was a how did like?
Oh yeah, she was on there for a minute.
Yeah, that was when I think she was the response to their all the criticism for them not having a black character. Yeah, it was like, see, they're like, look,
they're like.
20 years from now, all of our fans are going to need something to point back and defend in conversations with. And they're like, Aisha Taylor was in it.
That Will Smith picture where he's like this?
Yeah. Which is funny. I feel like Aisha Taylor has become like 5 different black people, though, for them on that show when they talk about it. It's like, yeah, I mean, there were so many black people on there, and they're just thinking of Aisha Taylor.
Like, they overrepresent her.
Is that show that was like, see, we got a black friend. I
yeah,
got a black friend, so.
All right. I was like,
but I will say that it was okay. It was an okay show. I don't know if it deserves all the praise that it gets, but I think it was an okay show.
And the fact that like Living Single came out like a year right before Friends, I'm just like,
did it though? Because your man doesn't seem to remember it.
David
Schwimmer. That's
David
Ross.
Schwimmer, yeah, Ross. He was like, yeah, they should make it all black Friends.
In fairness, he was too busy making White Living Single to know. It was on the same time. How you shoot all day, you come home. What are you gonna do?
He don't be knowing, but you know.
I mean, he's a millionaire at that level of wealth.
Yeah, I don't think you don't watch TV anymore.
Yeah, you really don't.
He's just like the TV.
Yeah, you go to your
watch the TV for me.
Like sex caves, dungeons. I don't know
what, bro.
What?
Rich people do like shit like Eyes Wide Shut parties.
I mean, I assume so.
I mean, I don't know.
That was just like,
I'm not rich.
Yo, when I come up, I'll let y'all know.
We're gonna get the invite.
I guess you think that, but
no,
then,
you
like,
can. You will not be invited. I can't have you out there. I'm gonna lose my pass. I can't get in the door and then just fuck it up immediately.
My bad.
But look,
I don't know how they work.
I will film it. I'll get you there. All right, so yeah, those were 2 of the worst white sitcoms in our.
The worst ones?
Trash.
Worst ones.
Trash. I'm coming out there with it. I'm coming out with it with these hot fuego takes. Maybe not the worst quality wise, but they are literally probably they are the most swaggerless.
Oh, I actually have one that I want to ask about.
Okay.
After we say ours.
Oh, wait, bad or good?
That I would just want to see how y'all feel.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna write it down on my phone.
Well, I guess we will start with our list of best white sitcoms. And
we supposed to have a list? Oh,
no, we don't have a list, but
okay.
What is anybody want to start with their choice?
I'll start mine.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna come out right out the gate. Sabrina, the Teenage Witch. Now, I'm like, no, man, what the fuck, Sabrina?
I mean,
I
don't think anybody
hot during the TGIF era. You know what came in? It was like Family Matters, then Sabrina, and I was like, all right. And then that also had Zelda and Hilda. Excellent. All the characters were great.
Don't forget the cat.
And the cat Salem, great. It was just all good, wholesome fun. Yeah, I think. And until they took away Zelda, like she like disappeared. A couple seasons. And Hilda stayed there, but she was the fun one.
They
anyway,
do that
so.
though. People just be disappearing in sitcoms. Nobody mentions them ever again. Just
they
also
die.
The internet wasn't a thing at the time, so people were like, "Oh, what happened?" Oh, it's like
they just fly off into the ether, and then they're just.
And I actually have not seen her in anything else since then. At least I've seen the other one, Hilda. Like she was in like some ABC shows.
Oh, you watch you
know
the ABC?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Right. There was like one show. Some sisters, like I forgot what it was called.
Like that were also magical.
No. It was like a whole nother show on ABC. Anyway,
wait, magical sisters?
No, they weren't magical.
Because I thought you were talking about Charms.
Oh, was she on that?
No.
Oh,
that'd be too on the nose.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
They'd be like, "Oh, typecast. Here, you're another one."
But at the same time, they're doing a Charmed reboot right now. Maybe they're
doing a reboot of fucking everything.
Maybe there is a Sabrina. And
I heard they're doing a reboot of Reboot.
They're are they really doing a reboot?
I think they already did. Actually, I'm kidding.
No, they did do the Sabrina. They already got the Sabrina one.
Yeah, but that was like.
That is
It's not made for you. It's made for young teens.
You're right. Okay, so I was like, it was like, and you know what?
Watch now, man.
I'm super washed. I can't just like
old as fuck.
It was like I was like, I just don't. Is that what the teens really want? Just like
yes, bro.
They want sex and magic.
Yo, it was all they want.
Sex and magic.
Sex, magic, and
it was like, and when they cross over, it was like sexy magic. I mean, Yeah, because that's all it was. It was just like it was like they were just setting things up to take more clothes off. And it was like there was like one scene I saw where like they were doing some hazing ritual in a cave.
Sabrina?
Yeah, the new one.
Oh, okay.
I was like they were doing a hazing ritual in a cave, and I was like, what's about that like fucking dark cult shit? And then they just all got dressed down to their bra and panties, and they all just were dressed in the matching Victoria's Secret lingerie.
But they're all in high school?
Yes.
No.
Yes. They're supposed to be in high school.
Weird.
Yeah, but they are all real life adults.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but it's always weird with those
It
shows.
is super weird
like,
because it's like, yo, why are you putting me in this place?
Right.
Why are you putting me at risk like this? They're secretly filming you, so they have scripts to use against you.
Like,
do you really want Tom Cosby as your next president?
Yeah, like, we got him. Send him in.
The original, the OG TV show,
great,
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, was dope.
I remember one episode specifically. It was like one of the first ones. Actually, it might have been the first episode where she was like, "All right, you're a witch." She like found out she was a witch or something, and she was like, "Whatever you do not point. Like you can't point." And then they had that bitchy girl that was always making fun of her.
Oh yeah. You always had to have one of those.
Shit. And then she was like, I'm getting tired of you. And then she pointed and she turned to a pineapple. And I was like, oh shit, she got turned to a fucking pineapple. And then she like spent the whole episode trying to turn her back.
How you?
I would be like, man, I would have sliced that bitch up and put her on a fucking pizza.
That's murder, bro.
And cannibalism. He said he would cut this woman up.
I mean, she a fruit
eat
now.
her.
I'm glad. Good thing that
she a fruit. I'm talking about the new Sabrina. That's what they would have did.
I'm glad that the nice young white woman got the powers and not you.
Yeah. He was just going around turning nice white women into fruits and eating them.
Yeah, she like turned her into a pineapple. That shit was funny.
Yeah, you can't turn your enemy into a pineapple and eat them in the first 15 minutes.
Damn, she a pineapple now. Well,
it shows the sound of that show.
You taste better than you ever were in real life.
Yeah, man, but taught you some things about like responsibility. She got all these powers and shit.
That's true.
But she kind of almost like always made it worse. Was she
ever responsible with that?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
she was never. She always
learned
a lesson and always tried to like fix it with that big ass spell book she used to bring out.
She did. I didn't
the grimoire.
And it was like I don't think that was she ever learned her lesson. She has 7 seasons of her just making the same mistake. I mean,
I would have did the same thing if I was her. She was a teenager.
Sabrina, she's right. She wasn't Sabrina the adult witch.
No.
It was and you know what? That's probably where the other aunt went. She was the responsible one. She was always trying to tell her how to use her.
She probably went to jail.
Negligence.
Yeah, exactly. Like, goddamn.
But like human jail or like wizard jail? Which jail? Which jail?
Oh, that's the end of the episode.
Oh man, there was did they have black characters on that show?
Yeah.
There was like
a black cat.
She had like a friend. Right? Oh wow.
Yeah, but no.
Wow.
I think.
Wow.
No sir.
No,
sir. That I'm just gonna brush past it, but I guess we ain't.
No.
We're
gonna stop that one right here. We're gonna say.
They definitely did have some black characters on there.
Name
I'm
one.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the show in so long, but it's the one that stuck out. Look, let me look it up right now. Go ahead, y'all talk.
Donald Faison was on there, right?
No, that was he? But I know he was in
Right?
Clueless.
I said it out loud. It sounds like it's true.
He was in Clueless though.
He wasn't Clueless, and
Clueless?
maybe that's what I was thinking.
That show would have been a lot better if she had powers.
It would have. It would have.
They got that guy. He was the head dude.
Wait, let me see.
He was big in the 90s, I think.
Oh yeah. That dude was pretty big. Is that like?
I'm gonna take a run at it. Alimi Ballard.
Yeah.
It's Alimi Ballard, and that is how it will forever be pronounced on this show. Come through, Alimi. We'd love to have you on. Pick your brain about Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Blah, blah.
Right.
Oh shit! Yeah, he was.
So he had like
I could be wrong.
No, I mean it sounds
responsibility.
right.
Yeah.
If he wasn't, we're just making the show up now. That we're making new history up for old shows.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
half of y'all probably haven't even seen.
Yeah.
Remember.
Yeah, half of you tuned out after we said that Friends sucked.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, shut it down."
No one's around. No one's around now.
They're like, "Shit."
Yeah, we
She's like, "I'm watching Friends right now."
Well, if y'all would have given some valid opinions about why Friends suck.
Okay.
Besides,
oh man,
besides they're not.
All right, we will have a whole episode. We'll have
a whole episode of Friends. I already gave mine.
Ross and Rachel, garbage. Understandable.
I already gave mine.
Ross and Rachel were like the Pam and Jim of their time. Yeah, because they also sucked.
Yes,
and that is a little
like relationships like that. Like, oh, are they? No.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, it was like
that's based on all of.
I'm a Chandler Monica guy. Yes, I outed myself. I watch Friends.
There it was. That's why I knew he was a little soft on it. He was like, guys, I don't know if it's that bad.
There was a lot of reruns. Forget it. Let's get where we're going.
You know what to do? Skip. Skip.
So a lot of people are hitting the
skip.
15 advance. Like, when's this get good?
No, I was talking about every time I see an episode of Friends on the channel, I'm skipping. So Sabrina Teenage Witch was dope.
I fucked with Sabrina hard.
That was TGIF, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like I said, Family Matters and Sabrina. And then some other show that was after that is probably so.
That third to fourth slot
show called Boy Meets World that was around.
When this boy meets world.
Was that TGIF?
At one point in time.
It was like, what was it?
I could have sworn, like, I only remember it coming on like Disney. Like regular.
That was like the reruns after like back in.
Oh, okay.
Because Disney owned everything back then.
Yeah, they
they still do it. Actually, they own more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a monopoly by now. Disney.
Hey, we don't use that word in America, do you? Unless you're playing it.
Well, then it will be never because that game sucks.
Yeah.
We need to do one about
board games. No.
Oh, yeah.
I love Monopoly.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, you like Monopoly? When's the last time you played Monopoly?
Because the problem with Monopoly is no one wants to play Monopoly.
That's true.
The problem with Monopoly is that
nobody has the 3 weeks to pay a
Blum are the only two people that fucking with Monopoly. Like, we tried to get Allison to play Monopoly with us yesterday, and she was like, no, that game's too long. We were like, man, we're bored, though.
We just got to schedule.
I don't know. If your game has, like, real problems in it, like shit that you could like come across in real life. That's not a fucking game.
I'm about to be bankrupt.
Yeah,
do I need to sell this property?
I was like, oh man,
10% of taxes.
I'm going to jail again. Yeah. But it was TGIF. We're talking about how dope TGIF was.
Yeah, and then Boy Meets World was on there.
That's what I was looking up to see when Boy Meets World was.
Oh damn, we're fact checking on the show.
I was.
Shit.
I got the technology in real time.
Yeah,
no, I mean, if I'm gonna speak, I was gonna speak some more on it. I was gonna preach on it.
He's like, did you know?
Did you know? Nah, I just wanted to.
That Fred Savage?
They were on there the whole.
Man, I never remember.
It's those two, like the dude from the Wonder Years and him are always.
Fred is the older one.
Yeah.
Okay. Fred was on the Wonder Years.
Okay.
Ben was on Boy Meets World.
Fred not recently, but had a show. I think it was called Lawyered. Or something.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah, that show.
I love that show.
I love that show too. That shit got canceled.
Yeah.
I mean,
because people hate seeing.
Yep. There it is.
People hate seeing us enjoy things and seeing me finish sentences.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all remember that episode though when Fred was on there?
Yeah.
He was like the pervy fucking teacher that was hitting on Topanga.
Yeah, that was weird because it's like that they're brothers.
Yeah. He was like, they look very similar.
Yeah, it was very true.
He was like, hey, buddy.
I'm going to be honest with y'all.
Uh-oh, here comes a hot take. It's about to slip out of his mouth.
Didn't really care for Boy
Whoa.
Wow. One, all right, here's my reason.
See, now I just can't trust your opinion.
I cannot trust your opinion at all.
You got to give me a reason why. All right, so I grew up.
Oh, my Lord.
Let me tell you when I was a child.
I did not
in my house.
All my life I had to fight for the remote.
God damn it.
I had 2 older brothers. They never let me have shit. I could watch shit.
Never ever got the remote. But I also didn't have Disney Channel.
Bro, it came on.
I didn't see it on TGIF, and it looked boring to me. But I will say I did go back and watch it later on when like Netflix and shit was a thing. And I was like, oh, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh well, still is. All right, whatever.
Sorry, my bad.
And
he just spoke flame me right quick.
and I will say that it was good. But then I still got I get the jokes though, like the Feeny call.
Yeah.
Feeny. Yeah, that one.
They had a black character on that show way earlier than
Friends. Friends.
They learned their lesson.
There was an what was it?
Yeah, the interracial relationship. It was one of them inner things, one of internal things where the black goes into the white.
You got to. What they call?
Get all the way the fuck away.
And one of them inside, them inner.
But yeah, didn't Corey date a black girl?
Them bilinguals, no.
Sean.
Man,
oh, whatever.
Come on,
whatever, dude. Like, all right.
No, but I mean, I can't I was like, I thought I could vibe with you, but like, you can't hate Friends, but then also hate Boy Meets World.
I said I hated it. I said I didn't care for it because I had never seen it.
All right.
But
that's
now
good.
that I seen it,
it was
a little bit, I'm like, all right, I can see what the fuss is all about. And also, it's like it was talking about like real life shit. Most of the time, sometimes.
Yeah, no, they covered some topics on there, and that's like I don't like that had a laugh track, right? Yeah,
I think so.
I just I don't know why I just can't envision it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. So I don't know why that wasn't on my list. I should have 100%.
Oh, it's on my list.
It is on my short list, but it wasn't the one I was going to lead with.
Yeah.
Which
one thing I do want to say is that Halloween episode.
Which one?
Scares.
The
one when they're in school.
And the Scream one.
Yes, I do remember that
dope.
episode.
Do you remember the Halloween episode where they did the crossover when Salem was in the high school? Was that the same episode?
I think I know what you're talking about, but no, it wasn't the same episode.
Yeah, Salem was in there, and I was like, yeah.
Salem the Cat?
Yeah, he was in one episode of...
Yeah, shouldn't you know that?
Oh, yeah, if you did your research.
Hey, man,
which boy?
All right.
No, it was that was an episode where, I don't know, he was fucking time traveling, going back in past. Corey was fighting in World War II. Or some shit. And he was at a diner with amnesia.
Oh, yeah.
And Salem the Cat came
shit
in.
It was just on.
It was bad.
We're just going to throw up an episode about what the fuck ever at the time.
It was
make no sense in the 90s.
When you got into the later seasons of shows, people were like, I mean, we ain't going to lose no fans. Where y'all going? What are you going to watch? Y'all stay with us 6 seasons and now you're going to leave? Okay. Watch Salem the Cat walk through.
Vader was on that show.
He was.
Vader was on there.
Yep. He was
Vader was somebody's dad.
Somebody's dad, yeah.
Oh yeah, one of those big bully boys.
Yeah. He came and fucking smashed Eric. Yeah. Boy Meets World, solid. Ting.
Sound effect later.
Yeah, we'll add that in post. That brings me to my show.
Shit, you want me to go last?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what was yours?
Oh, I mean, you can.
I don't know. Mine might flop. So let me go second.
I was okay.
Hey, here we go.
It's a show that I feel very strongly about because this show raised me watching Nick at Night as a youngster.
Okay, all right.
What you doing up late?
Where you had TV access to a TV?
My
like
mom
that?
was out to sea in the Navy.
Okay.
I didn't have a bedtime.
Flawless.
But
I had no one.
The TV
had to raise me.
Hey, I learned a lot of valuable lessons from.
I learned my news from Nick News.
Linda Ellaby was teaching
her about.
Oh, God damn.
She was teaching you about shit else happening in the world.
Hey, I was smart. I had good grades. I knew what was going on.
But yeah, your show.
Anyway,
yeah,
my show is the one and only Happy Days.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Sunday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturdays, what a day. Some.
That's a part nobody fucking knows that part. Nobody knows.
Hey.
I was singing that shit. Me and Abby were singing. We did the same.
Yeah, you just trail off. Everybody just.
But yeah, Happy Days is was it came out in 70s?
Yeah, my man went way back for that one.
But because I think it laid the foundation for a lot of those type of sitcoms. I know there was something for it. But.
No, I mean that was I used to fuck with that show. That was one of those ones that came on.
That was one of the ones that came on, and I liked the theme song, and I actually watched the show. It got me in. I was like, okay.
It was one of those. Yeah, that was a situation where those people look nothing like me.
Yeah.
But like I still found it like relatable for some reason because it was like they were kind of hip. They weren't like whack.
They were pretty cool.
Well,
I mean,
one Arthur Fonzarelli was really hip.
Yeah. He was whack, and like the mom was kind of cool. What's her name? Like Marianne or some shit.
I don't know her name in the show. It is.
That's what I was talking about.
Marion. Yeah. Whatever.
Oh, wait, her real name is that?
Yeah, Marion.
I thought that was her show name.
I mean, it could have been. That's a lot of things do that. But anyway, Fonzie was like one of the first characters that, for some reason, I thought was really cool. Obviously, you're supposed to think Fonzie's cool, but I was watching it in the '90s, early 2000s, and so he shouldn't have been cool anymore.
That's true,
but
it transcended.
He still had the cool 70s, or I guess it was supposed to be like it was the 50s and 60s. Right. Had that like magical jukebox touch.
Hey,
just came with the A. That shit was tight.
And you just finished watching Grease.
Yeah. Actually, I've never seen Grease.
I've never seen Grease either.
I'll say this. I never wanted to finish watching Grease.
I never wanted to start it.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
I know the songs for some reason.
I don't know.
I know that one song.
I know Summer Lovin'.
Yeah, like, that one and the other one.
Something like that. Yeah, those are.
Yeah,
but only those parts. Yeah. That's it. I just tapped out all of my knowledge of those songs. Yeah. But Happy Days was dope because it was like groundbreaking in a lot of different ways. It gave us the term "jump the shark" because Fonzie literally jumped a fucking shark.
How I feel when like I
it's like, this show is done.
Like, the connotation behind that term, because like I was waiting with bated breath.
Yeah,
if he was, because it was a 2-part episode, and Fonzie's still wearing the fucking leather jacket. I think. In the ocean on his
he is. He was.
Or whatever.
He had the leather jacket, and there's like,
and it's like he goes up to jump it, and I think it was like a season cut.
They cut it.
Like
they cut the episode,
and then it's like, yo, is Fonzie about to get eaten? Like,
it's like I think that was like the reason you did enjoy that is because you were a kid. And that was like a very kid-centric. Like if you was like watching this, like, yo, what the fuck did I just see? Yeah,
how the fuck?
I don't even know that even existed. Now I gotta go.
Yeah, bro. Watch it, dude. Yeah. I think it had like 11 seasons or something.
So now,
11 seasons.
Yeah, that was why.
It was from 74 to 84.
Yeah, and then it was like, yo,
they were on a whole decade,
bro.
He jumped a shark. They were out of ideas. They were just. Doing everything.
Because Fonzie would do like a lot of stunts. Like prior to that, he jumped like a bunch of trash cans in the Arnold's parking lot, I guess. Some shit like that. That was, and they had like a TV crew out there to film it. Fonzie
Wait, like
was
for the show?
Daredevil and Bad Boy of this show. Like,
but I feel like was he even in the earlier seasons? Because I feel like he came in like late.
No, he was in there. He just didn't have as much of a role. So like,
he got popular. And
because the show wasn't doing well. Yes. And then they were like, oh, let's put more of this Fonzie spin on it, and that should just
that
like Steve Urkel.
That is that's the formula, because when you have a character that's not popping, or when you got like a show that's like, yo, we got something here, but something's not catching, you put that wacky character in there, and your shit, or cool. I guess it works either way, because they had the
wild card.
Yeah, you put the fucking wild card in there. Steve Urkel did it.
I mean, they had to do it a second time with Steve with Family Matters though. Because I mean, once Stefan came in, like, it was another level.
Yeah, it was. It was like, man, we got tears on that.
And they had that one girl that really loved Steve Urkel.
Oh right.
Yeah, they added her. Look, a girl, Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Myra.
Like,
yeah.
Myra.
Wait. Are you talking about like his love interest, or are you talking about murder? That's a tongue twister. Murder.
Yeah,
Myrtle Urkel.
Like she was.
Because
it's weird, because like it was him trying to get another girl, but he didn't want that girl who was just like him. I was like,
wait,
that's fucked up.
No, that one is love interest.
What?
Myrtle was the one that was in love with Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Myra was a girl that that was his love interest.
Oh.
That he got with
it. Yeah, he did. No, he dated her like for for the majority until like
because Laura was the other girl.
Ended up happening to her because she kind of just faded out of the background, and then he finally got Laura. No, Myra.
Sorry. I don't know if this had any impact on it or whatever, but like the little before, like pre-internet, so I couldn't really fact check him. And I mean, anybody can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But my dad would constantly tell me that like that actress had like I guess cancer or something.
Yeah. No, she did die. I didn't know if like she died. I thought she died like after the show. Myrtle Urkel was Steve Urkel. It was the same.
Was it? Oh shit!
It was literally Jaleel White dressed up.
You are so right. Hey, man, they got me. They got me.
It was like something about this woman.
To tell.
You mean Stefan is the same as Steve Urkel?
I was like, I've got to reevaluate.
Oh my God,
I thought it was a set of triplets.
You mean they ain't all siblings?
Yeah.
Oh man. But who had it? Oh, you talking about Myra?
Yeah.
Oh,
she
damn.
Yeah, she died like a few years after the show.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's sad.
Yeah, no, it was super sad. Yeah. Damn, I want to
back
silence.
to Happy Days.
Damn,
back to happier days.
But this show gave you, what's it? Mork and Mindy.
Fuck, that's been all that was
Of Happy
spin-off.
Days?
Happy Days.
Yes.
Boy.
That's right.
Also,
Boy.
depending on how you feel about it, Laverne and Shirley.
I fuck with Laverne and Shirley. Schlemiel, Schlemazel.
We don't know theme songs on this show. We don't know any fucking theme songs.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
don't know.
I just remember that was the first like, what is it, Yiddish? What is that? What is a Schlemiel or Schlemazel?
I must
Isn't
say
that-
probably, but I'm out of my depth.
You know,
I am out of my
I'm
depth
not gonna say
too.
what I think it is, but
Yeah, please don't.
Anytime you got to start it by,
you know what? I was gonna keep to myself.
I was good. Put that
I'm
one.
gonna hold on. I'm gonna hold on to that.
Look it up and I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, nah, I did fuck with Laverne and Shirley. Happy Days was dope.
Obviously it had its problems. There was a lack of diversity.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
it
about?
was-
There was an Asian character.
Yeah, but
How many shows during that time had an Asian character?
not a lot. And
An Asian character is like 4 black characters.
what's his name? Pat.
That was the conversion rate back
Yeah,
then.
I was about to say.
Pat
Yeah.
Morita or whatever.
Who went on to become Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah. But they told him to tone his accent
Whoa.
down because he's Japanese American.
Right.
But
Yeah.
on the show,
Oh, they were playing him.
on the show he was Chinese.
He was Japanese. He had the
Oh.
because
It was- it
I
was
felt like
one-
it was, or maybe I'm
You might
racist.
be right. No, I remember that.
Like-
but maybe that was a part of Karate Kid, and we're conflating it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But either way, they told the executives or some
to downplay it.
Well, because he was misrepresenting by
By
giving the accent to the character that it shouldn't have, or something. And so
it was like, we want an accent, we just want to write one.
yeah. But they,
Damn it.
I think, allowed him to keep doing it because he said that the character was like half Japanese, half Chinese. So it was like, okay.
Oh damn, my man wrote a super elaborate backstory. It was like, you don't know about where I've been.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only. There was also some episodes about I think Howard, Richie's dad, had to be the best man for a black wedding or something like that, and that was a problematic episode.
What?
Oh man, that's very.
What the
It
fuck?
sounds
Was this
problematic.
Happy Days you said this
Yeah.
was?
I don't remember them even having
This
black
sounds
friends.
like, I don't know, problematic days.
There was some problematic things. Anyway, yeah, we could be done with Happy Days, but I'm just saying it was a prolific show.
Nah, it was prolific.
What came first, Happy Days or Cheers?
Happy Days.
Happy
I'm
Days.
pretty sure.
Okay.
But it
that
was like-
makes sense why Cheers was the thing, because it kind of reminds me of Happy Days. Even
Shows like
I
that,
can see that they go to the same place a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like when they're done at a time later than the show is set in, especially back then, it was hard to tell. So I always thought that Happy Days was a fucking 50s show.
Yeah, I thought it was
Mhm.
I thought it came out in the 50s too. I was like, oh shit, this. I mean, my brain didn't know when shit was filmed.
Bruh,
and shit.
I was like, yo, it's old, so it must be when it looks like it is.
Yeah, I guess it was later than another show. I love Lucy. We don't have to talk about
Ooh.
it.
Hey,
I can talk about that all day.
I also love
Lucy.
I Love Lucy.
Mm.
Yo, that shit slap.
Yeah.
I liked I
Slap.
Love Lucy. Yeah.
Also, who does a show that doesn't get enough love? I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
man,
Well,
it
yeah.
doesn't get enough love.
It doesn't. It's overtly sexist, but
Yeah, I mean,
it is.
All right, yeah, I'll give you that.
But it was back during its time. It was about. I
What was that
also
one show? It
enjoyed
was
it.
just he talked to his wife and was like, "I'll punch you right in the mouth."
The honeymooners. I think.
Yeah, man, that shit was
Pow, right in the kiss.
Pow right in the kiss. I was like, "Yo, what the?"
Yeah, I was like, yo.
She was always
even
whack.
back then, I was like, this is
like,
whack.
It's just a damn. It's a show. Like, who was like, yeah, fucking work a hard day and go watch a show about this dude who's gonna beat his wife.
Yeah,
that's what I need to.
One of these days.
It's so weird, man. It's so weird that they put it on TV.
Yeah, that was like, well, that was like, I mean, they let you cook with like All in the Family.
Yeah,
and that fucking racist ass dude.
Yeah, that's true. Also,
well, we got the Jeffersons out of that, right?
We did get the Jeffersons out of it, so I guess you got to take the good with the bad.
But there's another show I want to get a shout out to, but I'm going to do it first.
Yeah, so that brings me to my show, which we're going to dive back into the realm of TGIF.
Oh, I feel like all the good shows at TGIF.
It was, I mean, maybe that's the vibe. Maybe like that was when they got you. I mean, that was when.
I mean, you do sit down and just watch.
Yeah, they had us like, it was a set time. Like, it was an event. It was an event. Like, as a kid, I would look. That was my shit. I was like, fuck, school is done for the week.
Mm-hmm.
I get to come down and watch like 2-4 hours of like some shit that I like.
Yeah.
Get some pizza. Get some za. Now I want it. Yeah. So my show followed Family Matters directly on TV in the schedule, and it is a show. It is a show that does not get the fucking credit it deserves. I was like going up to look up some shit to talk about, and I saw these lists, and it was conveniently missing from all of them. And I am going to now put the respect on this show's name that it deserves. And that show is Step by Step.
Yes.
Step by step.
Day by
day. Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be a no.
Whoa.
That's going to be a no.
Whoa.
There's not much respect is because, well, I mean.
Hey, man, first of all, the mom was fine.
Suzanne Summers was a dime piece. She was a full dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And Patrick W was buff as fuck. I don't know when the last time you saw that show was, but I just watched it.
I don't remember like the people in it for real. So
you don't remember Cody? Yo, I felt Step by Step hard.
I think the reason I didn't like it is because of like the show. Yeah, the shows that it followed were better than it.
Oh man, I mean, it was hard. It was hard when you had to go up against Family Matters, but in my opinion, it was like I think you should go back and watch it because I think it just got that bad rap. Because it was
like some of the episodes I be seeing, I be like, yo.
Yeah, I walked by because like I didn't expect it to hold up the test of time, but I went back and I was like, yo, this shit is hit. It was like first off, Karen. No, her name is Karen. I'm blanking on the mom's name, but Suzanne Summers' character. Yo, she is like a feminist lead. Like there's like, that's like peak 90s progressivism. So
it's like,
they're like challenging that, but like, yeah, like he moves into her house.
All right.
Like, yeah, he's out here living in like squalor. He was like got the family, a little small, messy ass house. Yeah. And then he comes up. They meet in fucking Jamaica.
What?
They meet in Jamaica and get married. And then they come back and it's like, oh shit, we got like 3 kids apiece. I guess we will live together
so
now.
It was like a modern like Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just worried about like that family dynamic because I never understood it when I was younger.
Yeah.
But
I didn't either.
Broke it down for me. I was like, oh, so they got married in Jamaica.
They
didn't tell their kids.
No.
And they were like, hey, this is your new dad. Hey, this is your new mom.
And that's why when they came in, they hated each other. And that was like, that was the whole like animosity between the kids.
And
for,
that's
like,
why they had to learn
seasons.
to love each other.
Yeah.
Step
by step. Okay. Day by day.
So I get it. I understand.
But yeah, no, like, it's like, here's why it should get more fucking credit. It's made by the same people that make Family Matters.
Hey, that formula was solid.
It was solid. And they were like, yo, let's do it again, but with white people. And then
the way it should
we're missing
be.
part of the demographic for some reason.
It was like, and they were like, I mean, we'll just get them after Family Matters. They're gonna change the channel. Yeah. So the same makers. They literally use almost the same fucking soundtrack. Yeah. It's got all the same music, and they did that. You know, like how when you get a new show, and you try to get it hot with a little buzz from your other Big Show's characters. They did crossover right out the gate.
Oh yeah,
right out the gate.
Yeah.
Like, so, because it came on after Family Matters, and like they had like this episode of Family Matters where fucking Steve he had a jetpack, and he was
Step by Step.
No, he had a jetpack in Family Matters. Like at the end, he was like in their fucking kitchen, and then he shot off in the jetpack and went through their roof and their ceiling, and then that's how the episode ended. And then Step by Step started with him falling through their roof.
Yo, did not know that.
Yeah, that was
crazy?
a wild, crazy.
Wild.
Also,
That's what happened.
I don't know if y'all knew this. Steve Urkel was also in Full House.
Yeah, Steve Urkel was giving people fire all over the place. He was like, yo,
he
Steve.
was boosting ratings everywhere.
Jaleel was working.
Yo, he was. Jaleel White doesn't get the credit he deserves.
He really does
out here. Jaleel, you got it from us.
Yeah,
my
you
man.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Urkel was like the Drake of sitcoms. He was like, "Yo, put him on."
He's like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, you need a hit. You need a hit record.
It's like,
Drake Leo White on.
What?
I mean, it sounded better in my head.
Oh man.
Yeah. So he gave them heat.
Yeah.
And then they gained a little traction, but they still suffered that. Like it still wasn't hitting, so they did the same thing that they did with Fonzie, or that they did with Urkel, and they brought Cody on.
Cody.
Because everybody's like, man, this is just like some family shit. We need something to live it up, and they was like, let's bring somebody who is really high. No, but it was like, and that's the funniest part because like. I was like, oh man, you think he's just a big old stupid stoner, but it turns out that like he's just like very pure. He's just a fucking idiot.
Did he have layers?
Yeah, no, I mean he didn't really have layers. He was just an idiot, but he wasn't an idiot because he smoked a lot of weed. He specifically was like,
Did they mention weed on the show?
They did mention weed, but they mentioned like drinking and smoking, and he was like a really lame Christian dude. He was like, oh, yeah. He was like, nah, I was like, I don't like to smoke. I'm looking for a girl that doesn't drink either. And like, there was like an episode where he was dating some a quote unquote fast girl.
Ooh, fast girl.
And she was trying to put it on him. And she was like, whoa. Like, you don't have to do that. You know, I'm looking for a girl who's like willing to save herself for marriage. I'm a virgin.
And that was my problem with this show.
Why the show tanks.
No, it was like, I was like, man, that's an aspect of Cody that I don't think you should focus on.
Yeah.
It's
You need to take that shit to seventh heaven.
No,
right.
it was like,
what you doing?
I was like, man, Cody, which is the funniest part about it, because Cody was like the most Full House thing about that show. The most stoner sounding person was the person with the most values. Because the kids were out here trying to cheat, trying to steal.
Yeah.
And for the most part, the parents were like, don't do that. No, but like they learned lessons the way like I would have like preferred a lesson be presented to me. Like, have like a fucking sentimental instrument swell coming and saying, all right, Michelle. Hey, yeah, this is the background. Now listen, Deej.
Oh my God.
All right,
all right, so
what did we you had another show?
Yeah, I had another show.
Talk about.
Even though it is doesn't age well, because I recently watched
you better tell some problematic shit.
Married with Children.
Oh, yo.
Okay. Yeah.
Does not age well.
No, I mean, it's very misogynistic, but like
misogynistic.
I think like that one's kind of different than like something like I Love Jeannie or Bewitched.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Bewitched. Well, Bewitched she was in control though.
Well, yeah, the Jeannie, she was in the bottle. Yeah, because like I think like that was the point of that character, was to be like kind of just like crunchy fucking like toxic masculinity dude.
Yeah.
And so that kind of works.
Sit down, put his hand on his shoulder,
Yeah.
or his pants.
Yeah.
Like, man, Al Bundy, my
Peg Bunny. But that gave us
my
like
mom wouldn't like. She was like, "You shouldn't watch this show," but my brother would always watch it. So it's like,
I fuck
like
with that.
Like, because he worked at a shoe shop, right?
Yeah.
He always just make fun of the fat girls.
Yeah, no, he really did.
All the time.
He really did.
I'll be like, yo.
Yeah, that show is.
He'd be like, do you have something this size? I was like, He's like, no, we don't. And he'll make some joke that I don't know.
That was like the 90s fighting PC culture so hard. That was like, that was the death throes of problematic.
Yeah.
She was like, no, we ain't going down without a fight. Say something now. Say something about this big old fat woman's feet.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, but yeah, hate to say it, but I fucked that show so hard.
No, that show was dope. And that show also gave us Christina Applegate.
Yeah, it did.
And it gave us man, I'm blanking on the mom's name.
Oh, I'm blanking on her name, but she's in a lot of stuff though.
Yeah, she was Leela.
She's Leela.
Yeah.
But Ed O'Neill plays the same character in Modern Family, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Any honorable mentions you guys want to give out?
So we already mentioned
Frasier. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay. But
this nigga just said Frasier.
One thing that I didn't fuck with the show at all. I actually still kind of don't. But there was like this weird period in college where, like, we had cable at the apartment, and I just needed to have the TV on still to fall asleep because I was a man child at the time.
Yeah, I'll do this shit.
And Roseanne would play.
Oh no.
Pretty often, and like sometimes it was okay. Now,
you talking about old school Roseanne? New school.
No, this was 10 years ago, but or nearly 10 years ago. But like I don't know. Roseanne just seems like the whole family just seemed disgusting to me.
Yes,
it's like very like I don't want to go over their house. Like I don't want their like people to talk to me.
Right.
Like so I didn't really like get down with the show initially, but there were some episodes like that came on during that time. I was like, oh, maybe I should have checked the show out.
Yeah, and with that show, once the fucking trumpet hit. And that theme song, I changed that shit so quick.
Yeah, that was a very
I was like, oh, I know what time it is. Time to go do some other shit because, my God, I hated the intro and I hated the show. And I was like, that MASH, whenever I saw that truck, when I saw that helicopter land,
don't talk about MASH. MASH is dope. MASH is dope.
I haven't.
MASH is good. Dude.
I never sat down and watched it, but I was a fool. I would see it like throughout my whole childhood coming on, and I was like, oh, this is like...
That's because it was on for 4 fucking ever.
It was, and it was like, yo, okay, this is like the end of like funny shows, I'm gonna switch it.
Right.
I was a full-grown adult before I realized that was a comedy.
Yeah,
and my grandpa, like one time I was like, I wish you should change it. So whenever it like came on, like he was in the room, I changed it. He was like, what are you doing changing the show? That's a good show. I was like... I'm not watching MASH, but of course he made me watch the MASH, and I was like, bro, this is not... funny.
You have to definitely absorb the context of like Vietnam and the country at this state of the time.
There's nothing funny about Vietnam.
I know there's nothing funny about Vietnam.
That was hilarious. What are you talking about? That was our funniest war.
They tried to make light of a terrible situation.
Right.
And so like I think that's where like because the country was sort of getting to laugh along. Well, I don't know if we were in Nam at the time. I doubt.
I don't know. Some war.
I just feel like that was probably. I don't know.
Well, I don't know though.
Maybe.
because in the. Let me think about
it.
I'm
not looking
Ron
it up.
Howard.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, we ain't looking that up. Whatever.
Back to Happy Days, Ron Howard wanted to join Happy Days because he was trying to dodge the draft. And it was like the last year of the draft. So he would have been kind of good anyway. But like, so MASH was probably directly on during Vietnam or something. War. I don't know. Yeah.
MASH.
I also don't know history, guys.
You looking it up?
I did. MASH was a movie first. And that came out in the 70. But the TV show was 72.
Okay.
Also, they love spamming that show. I don't know if y'all do this, but they love spamming that show.
You gotta eat shit in a can. Right. You out here. Yeah. And so, yeah, that was still during Vietnam.
Yep. Yeah.
People were just out here. So, damn, I don't know. That shit might have been a little too close to home for me. I would have been like,
yeah, but you know, the country had to have something because, like, I imagine that the same
you know what they had? Monopoly.
Bad.
They could have played Monopoly. Bring it back. Greatest board game of all time.
It was like, do you want to feel worse? Play Monopoly.
Go to jail? Psych, I got a free get out of jail card.
You miss your kid, huh? Well, here's Monopoly.
Here's some taxes. Anyway, what were we saying?
Did you have any honorable mentions you wanted to shout out?
That was my only honorable mentions.
No, that was pretty much it. There
was one that I wanted to mention. this is not my honorable mention, but I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't mention Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I actually I've never really seen.
I have also never really seen Seinfeld like that, so that's why I couldn't speak on it.
I've seen Seinfeld. It is fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard.
You like Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I love Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I love Larry David, so that's why I feel like by default I would. Yeah, it's pretty much him.
Yeah. But I will say Seinfeld is one of those shows where it starts off like but then it gets better as it gets older,
and
then it just leaves, obviously. But it is so good because it is like unlike Friends, where it's like New York isn't like that.
You about to speak some evil Friends.
Unlike Friends, where like New York isn't like real like that.
Yeah.
New York is a character in Seinfeld. Like that is like some weird shit happens.
It seems
New York is like Friends. It takes place in New York. In Seinfeld, New York is an actual character where they.
It felt realer.
Yes.
Than
because their situations are like real things that happen. Like there's an episode of them going to the fucking auto shop, and it's just like how it is when you go to the fucking auto shop. Like
I just I should go back and revisit it. But it's just like I think the moment's gone. I just I got Curb Your Enthusiasm now, and I was like I can just rock with that. It's basically the same humor but with fuck words. So yeah, I just coast with that. My honorable mention was Growing Pains.
Oh yeah. That was
Show me the smile again.
Show me that smile.
And this is here's why it had to fall to the honorable mentions and not on my list is because of one Kirk Cameron. Yeah. He was such a garbage person that he ruined that show. On the later and not like I was like, he's like a terrible person. Well, I mean, he's a terrible person, but his acting didn't ruin the show. It was like, that was why, near the end of it was when he's turning super duper Christian.
Born again.
Yeah.
So young, too. You have a fucked up, probably personality in life when you're born again at
Yeah, I'm saying, it's like, yo, what the fuck are we doing that you had to turn it around like that? But yeah, he just went further down into there and just turned into a fucking super zealot. And it carried over into I had to break out the dictionary word of the day. Yeah, and so he tanked that show, but it got back on my honorable mentions because it gave us Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wait, he was on that show?
Yeah, he got his start there. He was a little homeless boy, dirty little homeless boy.
He was a homeless boy.
He was living in a garage or some shit. And that was near the end, and Mike was being a mentor or some shit, and he was like, "Oh, hey kid, why don't you come live with me?" And so he lived with them, and then he was like, "Hey,"
he was like, "I ain't got nothing better to do."
And then Leo was like, "Yo, y'all mind if I become a superstar right quick?"
And make more money than all.
Yeah, it was
and win an Oscar.
Yo, hey, I think I'm gonna stun on all of y'all.
I mean, he was young. He had a lot of time.
He did. He did, but that other girl was in there with him, Ashley Jo Johnson.
Yeah.
I think that Ashley Johnson. I think just Ashley Johnson.
You just made up the joke.
I did. No, because I'm thinking Amy Jo Johnson from fucking Power Rangers.
Is that the Pink Ranger?
Yeah. But yeah, no, Ashley Johnson, now of Critical Role fame. Yeah.
Sometimes when she
when she out here doing that
because she was in The Killing.
Yeah, no, she's doing shouts to Ashley Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I remember when I first started watching Critical Role, and I was like, oh my god, that's the fucking girl from Growing Pains. Actually, I didn't say that first. I was like, holy shit, that's the girl from What Women Want.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Because I had that Mel Gibson gym just sitting on my head.
Yeah, I was like, what?
All right, so what did we learn today? What has
that,
white sitcoms have given us a lot.
Yeah,
we should thank them.
Boy Meets World is better than what I thought. Yeah. I don't know, maybe.
Boy Meets World is definitely better than you thought. Friends does suck. Samash will have to change our minds on that.
I mean, I'm not gonna go to bat for Friends.
Okay, that's fair. All right,
I
that's
understand
fair.
that there are problems with Friends.
All right, now I can appreciate that. You're like,
that's true.
But there is still a level of entertainment that it provides. I think
for some people,
obviously,
and Samaj.
It's an
spit on the mic with that
one. But what I learned personally is like, okay, step by step might hit more than I thought that it did. I didn't know all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool about the Urkel tie-in.
He was in a lot of shit. Crazy.
And we did learn a lot more about Jaleel White.
Yeah, Jaleel White he was a fucking crossover superstar back then. He was bringing everybody hits.
Man, somebody needs to give that man his flowers.
Yo, really.
Exactly.
Jaleel, we'd love to have you on. Yeah. And I was going to say something, but I've lost it. So, yeah.
Trent didn't learn shit.
I've learned nothing. I've learned not a thing. I was unmoved by everything. What I did learn, though.
Oh, you got it back.
Yeah, and it was like it was kind of what I learned about Step by Step more than
he learned about his own show. He pissed.
No,
y'all didn't convince me.
Yo, you convinced me that the audio shit was trash. I'm gonna tell you what, my shit was
trash.
baller, dog.
With the trash.
Wow.
No, it was like it was kind of like one of those things that like I just realized as I was sitting here. It wasn't that like. It was
the shit I said was dope.
It was fire, dog. I was like, y'all were talking, and I was just formulating my own thoughts more. I was like, all right, that's cool, but shut up, nigga. I'm trying to say something. No, but it was like as we were sitting here talking about other shows, like from the '90s that were also bops, and we talked about some black shows, and it made me think about like the other black shows during the time that didn't quite live up to how dope some of these white shows were. Like
there's a couple.
When I went back and I pulled up Hanging with Mr. Cooper recently, and that was like so fucking bad.
My God, I hate to see it because I really love that show.
I thought that show was fire, but it was and it had like the Windows 95 graphics on some shit what they're doing. It was painful.
That episode was just bad also,
and that dude was so over the top.
Yeah,
he was just like, "Woo, I'm saying it."
Yeah, like
it's like, man, come on, we get it. You want this check, but
chill.
Yeah, that was garbage. And what I learned was that I need to amend my previous statement about Full House being the wackest show ever, because I think Hanging with Mr. Cooper is whacker than Full House. Now that I go back and reevaluate it, so I'm sorry to everybody out there. Like, whoa.
Wait,
hold on. Yeah. It's Blossom.
What is that, Blossom?
Yeah. And on that note, that is probably the best place to end this episode. That is episode 1 of Zeitgeist. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back.
Hope you made it this far.
Yeah. Yeah, if you did, you're a real
rocking with us.
You're a real one. Yeah.
The plug.
If you have made it this far, then you should like and subscribe to this. And also, we make some skits.
Yeah, we do.
Under the name Nastrisk.
Mm-hmm.
Nastrisk.
Yeah.
Instagram, it's Nastrisk3.
Yeah.
On Twitter, it's also Nastrisk3.
Yep.
On TikTok, it's just Nastrisk.
Ooh, switch it up when you're there.
Yes.
So on YouTube, it's just Nastrisk.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're trying to figure out how to spell that, it's asterisk, but with the N in front.
Yeah.
I'll let you figure out what the N stands for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What does it? But when you figure it out, don't say it around your wife, please. Don't say it out loud. We'll be back soon. Is there anywhere that they can follow you guys if they'd like to, or would you not even like to put your?
I'm gonna keep my stuff private.
Okay, all right.
You know what? I'm out here.
Yeah, all
public.
right. There it is.
Instagram. You can follow me at Domination 804, and then same for I think Twitter. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'll be saying some dumb shit. So yeah, follow me.
And I am only on Instagram because the other ones are Babylon Tings, and I don't support them. It is Instagram great88. Great, the word 80, and then the number 8.
I just love figure that.
Hey,
you find it, you don't.
Yeah, you find it or you don't.
You don't.
Yeah, I trust you. I'm putting the internet in your hands.
Your capable hands.
Yeah.
Or not
So,
capable hands, you know.
Yeah. Stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Peace.
And this is where music will be.
Play one of the songs. What's the step by? Oh, play the step by step.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Take us out. Roll it.
The dream got broken.